What's up, everybody? Justin here, and I have another fishing report for you. The Lake St. Clair Fishing Report is brought to you by Rose Marine. So if you were out here on the lake this past weekend, you might have been one of those guys that had a hell of a time out here fishing. Fishing really turned on this weekend, and I'll fill you in on that species by species here in just a moment. But a couple quick notes. This weekend, launching out of Harley Ensign Boat Launch, you have the Michigan Walleye Tour. They are going to be there Saturday and Sunday. It's a fairly large size tour here in the state for walleye. I believe the weigh-in starts around 3 o'clock. If I'm wrong, I'll put it on the screen here. That should be a really cool event to go out and check out the weigh-ins for that. And also a quick note, next weekend is free fishing weekend. If you've been hesitant coming up here, you want to save a few bucks, maybe that Saturday and Sunday might be a great time to come on up here and explore Lake St. Clair and not have to buy a fishing license for the US side here. So without further ado, let's get into this week's report. So for you guys chasing panfish, the bluegill have really turned on in many of the canals, but most people aren't really focusing on panfish this time of the year. If you're looking for those bigger fish though, I would head up and fish the marsh areas around St. John's Marsh, Harson's Island, Russell, and Dickinson Island. Those backwater areas should be the place to go find those really big bluegill right now. Now that water temps have gotten into the right zone, they should begin to fan and make beds. So if you find one, you should find more. For you guys chasing esox, northern pike, and muskie, I'm starting to get reports of a few more muskie being caught throughout the lake. But I am hearing lots of reports on northern pike throughout the entire lake. From Fairhaven all the way down to the mile roads, they have been able to locate pike on the weed beds. Generally, if you're looking for pike, I'd probably fish around where the bass guys are. They're the ones that keep reporting finding a lot of pike. I know off the Salt River in Salford, there has been a very large concentration of toothy critters there of the non-walleye variety. But if that's what you're looking for, Salford would probably be the best ramp to go out of this weekend. Walleye, you're gonna have a lot of extra competition out here this week and weekend with the MWT in town. Like I said, they're gonna be launching out of Harley. They generally have about 100 boats or so, give or take. It's been a while since I've been to Lake St. Clair, so there'll be a lot of guys running around, both the US and the Canadian side. But don't let that deter you. There is a ton of walleye out here on the lake to be had. Right off the point of Metro, I heard from a friend of mine, him and his dad did very well in about 14 foot of water straight off the point at Metro. And as I can see back behind me here, I got a mixture of walleye and bass guys back behind me here. The bass guys are in a little tighter, and the walleye guys are out a little bit deeper in that 12 to 14 foot range. So you can probably duplicate that along the entire US shoreline and locate walleye throughout. Also up on the St. Clair River, whipping continues to be the #1 choice for numbers. But jigging's working, hand lining's working, pulling harnesses has started to produce some fish during the day, during the daytime in a few areas as well. For you guys shorebound, don't be afraid to come out here. Right now is probably your best time of the year to catch sheer numbers of fish. Areas like the Point of Metro, Brandenburg, the Wall up in Port Huron, 9 Mile, and Blossom Heath should all be producing fish of lots of variety. White bass are definitely moved up into the lake now, so we're starting to see some reports of them scattered throughout. The Point at Metro is definitely a very, very popular spot to get into a lot of white bass action. Look for the bird activity to kind of gauge where the bait fish is. And a lot of times that's where the white bass are going to be. So look for those terns, not seagulls, those little white birds with a black tail, black head. Those are the ones you want to look for. Those are the terns. They are going to basically give you the big beacon of cast here. If you're looking for white bass, again, out on the boat, same deal as well. If you're not looking for, you know, bass or pike from shore, if you're looking for catfish, the spillway continues to produce very, very well. And also up by Brandenburg around the pier, they're still getting a few catfish at night. So for you guys that are chasing smallmouth bass out here on Lake St. Clair, your wish has finally come. The temperatures throughout the lake have finally reached a really good point where almost, I'm not going to say all, but the mass of fish have begun to move up, start spawning throughout the entire lake. It's not just up on the flats. It's over by Salford, it's over by Fairhaven, it's down on the mile roads. So spread out. Don't hammer one area. If there's 20, 30 boats in the area, move on to some other area on the lake. There's a lot of smallmouth to be had in the lake right now. You're going to want to concentrate anywhere from 4 to 8 foot of water. And don't be afraid to slide a little deeper, try to find some of those bigger fish. You know, out where the walleye guys are trolling, there has been some very big smallmouth located out there as well. Predominantly, the lures of choice are going to be your swim baits if you are looking for active fish, lipless crankbaits, a tube, a drop shot, and the deadly Nedley. If you haven't fished a Ned rig out here, you got to give her a go. It is a very, very good system to be fishing out here on the lake, especially in that shallower water. It's a do nothing bait, really easy to do, doesn't take a lot of skill to fish, but it is a very effective lure choice. Now, if you are tired of smallmouth, which is, I'm not sure how you could be tired of smallmouth, but if you are and you want largemouth, they are on the beds. They have been on the beds now for about a week, give or take. A lot of the activity where they spawn is going to be back in these canal systems. So if you catch one fish and it looks like a scrawny little male, give that area a few more casts, see if that female is there. A lot of times this time of the year when I go largemouth fishing, if I catch one, I will generally catch the other one within probably 3 to 10 feet of that bed. That female generally sticks around unless she's totally done dropping eggs. If she is, then she's going to be out on the very end of the dock pilings and working her way back out to that deeper water where she can get a hold of a lot of shad and shiners and small perch and bluegills to fatten back up after depositing her eggs. If I'm doing largemouth fishing, I'm going to do a shaky head. I'm going to do a jig with a soft plastic trailer. If you're kind of looking at my go-to for this year, go ahead and click up above here. I'll actually post a link to my dock flipping video that went up just the other day and got into some really, really good fishing. That was just one of the 6 canals that I hit that day. So yeah, it's good. Tough to make up my mind between largemouth fishing and smallmouth fishing right now. Hopefully later this week I will get out and get some fishing in, but I am not hopeful for that. If you follow me on Facebook and on the community tab here on the YouTube channel, you may have seen me post about a death in my wife's family. Her grandmother passed away, so I do want to thank everybody that has given their condolences, well wishes, and prayers. We do appreciate it. We will be burying her this week, so we'll see if I get out at all this week. I'd rather spend time with family and be there for them. So didn't want to end that on a downer, but kind of did. Sorry about that, guys. But as always, thank you for tuning in. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, be sure to click down below, hit that red subscribe button, and ding that notification bell so you get notified every time I post a video. And as always, guys, tight lines and happy casting. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. be sure to like, subscribe, and share. It helps me, it helps the channel, it helps everyone that likes to catch fish.